Hey, what up, decisive marketers? So today we're going to be reviewing a form tool, and it's called Blocksurvey. I know that I have reviewed a lot of forms in my channel so far, but I have to say that Blocksurvey is my favorite tool, and I'm using it on a daily basis, right? So before I jump into Blocksurvey, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you like to see more digital marketing and e-commerce content. So here we go. Here we are in Blocksurvey, okay, and I'm just going to jump into the settings first. So you can have custom domain, okay, in Blocksurvey. You can and one cool thing about Blocksurvey is that they do have this AI configuration. What happens is that you can just let the AI create your forms for you, right? Let the AI create your forms for you. So that's a very interesting tool. And then you can also add custom custom SMTP, right? So you can add your own email providers such as Amazon SES, SendGrid, MailChimp, Mailgun, Postmark, and others, right? And you can also set up your payment configuration. So currently at the moment they only have Stripe, right? But they are working on PayPal, Razorpay, and I think Lightning Network. So I've never heard of that, but those are coming soon. And in terms of messages wise, okay, so what happens is that when you create your forms, some of the input fields, you can have multiple languages. You can have multiple languages in there very very quickly. So you can set up these different languages, in this section right here. Okay, so for example, if you click in German, right, then you can put in all the text, right, for the hint, right, in German. Everything is all translated very quickly. Okay, right, so you can add more messages, but these are the ones that they have already translated for you. You can create your own if you want to. Okay, right, so before I jump into creating a forms as well, let me just kind of take a look. Okay, so over here, something really cool is that they have a brand kit, right? So brand kit, what happens is that when you are working with a brand, all the images will be in there. You can put your own fonts, okay? So you can upload your own fonts as well. You can upload your own themes, and if there's any CSS properties, you can add that in as well. Okay, right, and then of course you can create your own template so that you can just quickly pick something that you have already created before. And of course you have a lot of templates of forms right here that you can just pick and choose and get going. Okay, so next is we are going to jump into creating a form. So you can create from scratch. So it's something blank, and then you just create everything from scratch, and then you have a template, which is whatever that we saw right here, or your own templates, of course, and also creating using AI, or you can import, right? So I've never actually used this, but you can actually import a form, I guess, from somewhere else with the JSON format. Okay, so we got to try with the AI because I've never actually tried it before, but let's try with customer experience. Okay, so let's just use this, right? So customer feedback, so we'll just use whatever that they suggest to us. Okay, so give me a feedback form for customers who purchased in the last 30 days. Okay, so we'll just use that, and then it's going to generate questions for us. So it's all done for us. Okay, and then once you're done, you're happy with it, you can just click on create. It's going to create the entire form for you very quickly. Just design it and you're ready to go, right, if you want to do that. Okay, so the first one would be the title of the form. Okay, so you can put that in, and then this doesn't actually do anything, just kind of gives you helps you to identify which form it is. You can have a public form, okay, and then the public name and then the private name just for your own records, okay, and then you can put a description there if you want to, and then you can add a type welcome screen, okay, if you want to. So with the welcome screen itself, so you can put text in here, and you can also put HTML. You can you just need to highlight the text, right? And then if you're going to put in HTML, you can do so as well. Same for the description section right here, okay. So you can insert tables, whatever you want with Blocksurvey, okay, right? And then of course you can have this thing called the screen layout, but you have to, I think, set up a back. Just give me a second. Upload. Okay, I don't really have any images, I think. Okay, I think I do. Let me just jump into this one right here. Okay, let's say we'll pick this one right here. Okay, so then it's gonna insert an image. Okay, so I guess this just kind of makes it in a different, where the buttons are, right? Okay, and then if you want, you can add a timer if you want to. Okay, and then like, how do you feel about our product? Okay, so you can put a description, and then so maybe like so you can put like maybe like a hint, right? Tell us how was your last experience. Okay, so you can have something like that. Okay, and then okay, so you can put a character limit. You can hide the question number. You can of course make it compulsory or not, and then whether you want to let me see. Okay, so what happens is you rather than asking the same question, maybe you have how do you feel about the how do you feel, or like what would you rate us? Okay, so let's say your question is what would you rate us. You can have it repeat a couple of times. Okay, then that would be for like maybe how would you rate different things, right, about your service. So you can do that. You can put a page break. Okay, okay, so page break, what happens is that you can divide your your so let's say I put maybe this is for customer service. Okay, and then what happens is that this okay, so sorry, this only applies to the classic view. Okay, so let me just kind of show you how it looks like. It doesn't show for the conversational forms, but let's say we were to change it to the classic form. Okay, and then there'll be a there'll be a page break, right? So you are splitting your forms into multiple pages. So very nice feature right here. Okay, and then next is logic jump, right? But we'll go to that later on. But the next one is that you can assign scores or points to a particular answer, right? So if maybe so maybe it can be like a quiz. Okay, so if the text has a particular word, you can assign a score or something like that. Okay, right, so you can assign scores. Of course, if you have multiple choice, you can do that as well. Okay, let me just kind of show you the different types of question, right? So you got short text, you got long text, you got numbers, you got choose single, choose multiple, drop down multiple, matrix multiple, ratings, rankings, opinion skill, and then experience management. So we're going to try some of these questions later on. Okay, then you got email, phone number, website, country, consent, signature as well. So with Blocksurvey, you can collect signatures, date, file upload, image capture, question group, statement, and payment. Okay, so those are the types of questions. So short text, long text, those are quite straightforward. And then your choose single, choose multiple, those are let me just kind of show you. Okay, so it's like this. Okay, and then you have you got your matrix as well. So you can divide it into different options, right? And then you can pick. Okay, right. Okay, so you got 3 columns and 2 rows. So that's kind of that's for matrix. And then you've got rating. So this is just kind of choose the stars that you want, and then the let me see how this works. Oh, so this is like a sort of ranking the stuff. Okay, and then you got opinion scale. So let's check that out. So this is kind of like the rating. Okay, and then you have your experience management. Okay, that sorry, this is MPS, right? So you got a CSAT. Okay, and then CES. Let's see how that looks like. So pretty much the same thing, or you can choose it this way, right? So they have different components. Okay, and then email, of course there's a bounce checker. So that means if the email is not working, or is a disposable mail, MX address checks and all that, right? So they would actually check if the email is working before they allow you to submit. And then you have a consent. Okay, so this is just a sort of multiple choice kind of thing. Next is signature. Okay, so this is your signature. You got your date. Okay, file upload, image capture. So this one, so what happens is that you can start taking a picture with this. Okay, so you can use your camera and then you can start taking a photo. But of course my camera is in use right now, so that will not work for me. And then question group, right? So you can answer a few questions and then move on to the next group of question. So that's how it works. And then you got statement and payment. Okay, but I think because I have a question group right here, it doesn't allow me to pick that, right? So we have the statement. Okay, so this is just a text, right, that you can insert. And then this will be payment, via Stripe. You can just fill in and then make payment just like that. Okay, so let's see. So yeah, so every text, right, every question, you can change the placeholder text, the button text. Okay, so let me just kind of change this to, let's say, short text. Okay, so you can change the placeholder text. So right now it says please enter your response, so we can change that, right? And then you can change the button text as well. So it's loading, but then you can change the button, you can change the hint text and all that in here. Okay, And then what else? Let me just take a look. And then you got your submit screen right here. And then you can choose whether you want to redirect them. Okay, whether you want to redirect them somewhere on the submission, or in the thank you page. Okay, so you can choose that as if you want to. And then receive confirmation whether you want to okay, receive confirmation. And then you've got whether you want to allow them to submit multiple times, and do you want to hide the submit screen. That means you just kind of skip the submit screen. Okay, and then redirect logic. Okay, so I think this one is been there, right? So let me just, is the logic jump, pretty much the same thing right here. So if they answer certain things, you can move them to different questions right here. Okay, and then the thank you page, you can add a call to action button. Okay, you can put the button link however you want, whether you want social media sharing, you want to show the branding, you can do that as well. You can upload your own logo as well. Whether you want to allow retaking and show download response, that means they can download a copy of their answers. Okay, and then there are three types of questions. So this is your they call it one question at a time, or slides style forms, right? So this is your typical TypeForm style. And then you got your classic form, where you have a form like this. Okay, and then you have your conversational or chat forms. So these are your sort of chatbot kind of forms, right? Chatbot kind of forms, which is really nice. And then you can also upload your own avatar as well to replace this one. Okay, so these are all the messages by default, and whether you want to change them to a different language, you can do so as well. You can change, of course, you can change the design of the forms, so you can choose different colors, okay, as you want to. You can change the fonts as well. Okay, and then variables. So what happens is that you can actually capture the let me see. That means if you are referring the if you are sort of linking them to the form from somewhere, you can insert this in the URL for the variables, so that these variables will then be passed on into Blocksurvey for you to know where these people who fill in your forms are coming from, right? Okay, sort of like UTM tags. Okay, and then you've got notifications right here, where you can set up your email. You can send out notifications to yourself whenever you receive a new submission, and then also to send it to your respondent. Okay, and of course you can export the forms, and these are the settings right here. So you got your right to left, so if you are like typing Arabic or whatever, you can use this. Whether you're disable OK, so that means they can't skip to the next question, I believe, right? Yeah, I think they can't skip to the next question. And then whether you want to show placeholders, enable question type prediction. So this one is very nice. So what happens is that if you turn this on, you add a question and you say, let's say, phone the number. Okay, and what happens, you can see that the question type automatically changes. So that saves you a lot of time because it predicts what kind of question that is supposed to be. Okay, and then question whether you want to randomize the question as well, you can do that. And then whether you want to allow multiple submissions, whether you want to enable autosave, which I would recommend that, and then close or cut off date, right? So whether you want to schedule the form, and then whether you add a privacy policy. So let's see how it looks like. Okay, maybe I didn't put in the link, that's why it doesn't work. Let me see. Right, so there's a link to the, you can put in a link in there, right, which is usually for the privacy policy. Of course, you can change the text, and it doesn't become it doesn't make it for privacy policy basically. And then whether you want to show branding, you can do that as well, which is what I like to do. And then you can protect your surveys as well with this, so that only people that you send it to can fill it in. Okay, so the cool thing about Blocksurvey is that you can have your forms. There are many ways that you can share your form. So let's say I publish this. Okay, let's see. Okay, so once I publish it, right, I can put in my own link. Sorry, my own meta. They call it open graph. Text right here, right? So you, okay, and then let's say you put in your own. Let's say I put in this one right here. Okay, so what happens is that I can change this, so when I share this on social media and all that, there will be a link preview. Okay, and I can even have my own favicon as well, so that's very nice. And I can allow indexing. Okay, so whether you want to allow search engine to crawl and index your forms, your links to your forms, you can do that as well. And then how do you want to share? So you have your so what happens is that with Blocksurvey, right, you can actually send out 3 different kind of forms if you want to. Okay, so they just just click on them and they would be different forms. Okay, oops, yep. So this one is the one slide. This is your, so you get 3 types of forms in one go. So that's the cool thing about Blocksurvey, right? So you can have 3 different kind of forms to different kind of people. Maybe someone responds better with a chatbot style. Okay, maybe someone else they are more used to the classic form. You can do that as well, right? And then your one slide at a time kind of questions. And then next you have the integration, right? So so other than just sharing the links, you can also embed it on your website. You can just also embed it as a widget. Okay, so let me just kind of show you how that widget looks like. Okay, it's like this. So it's a floating widget, so you can add that. Okay, you can have it as a conversational, and then you can have a tab like this. You can have it as a pop-up card like this. Okay, so that's how the forms looks like. And then you can change the location, of course, right? And you can change the location. You can change the icon. You can have it like this, right? So this would probably be better with this. Okay, so this will be a bug report form. It's just amazing, right? I think Blocksurvey just kind of works for everything. Okay, let me just kind of go back in there. So you got your widget, okay, and then you got your webhooks where you can connect it to your Zapier, Public Connect, and all that. And then there is a direct integration with Slack and Discord. Okay, and the cool thing is if you are using webhooks, you can send a custom payload. So that will be easy without having to actually put in a test form, as in test submission to trigger a webhook payload, right? And then you can see all the responses in here and the analytics, right? So of course we don't have any formal submissions right now, so we can't compare them. Okay, so pretty much that's all what Blocksurvey does. I think that it's a great form tool. It does everything, but of course there is certain features that Blocksurvey does not have that other forms have. For example, having multiple forms in the same slide. So if you're using if you're using one slide at a time, Typeform style forms, you can't have, let's say, date from, date to, right? You can't have two questions, so they got to be split into two different slides. And you can't use block surveys you can't insert password fields, right? So that's actually blocked. That's actually doesn't work in Blocksurvey. So I would say that mainly these are the two features that are lacking with Blocksurvey. Of course, your payment integration that's missing with Blocksurvey as well. So I guess that's all I have to share about Blocksurvey. Overall, I think it's a amazing tool, right? And you can use it for anything like contact forms, sign up forms, everything, right? So if you enjoyed this video, do give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about Blocksurvey in the comments below. If you know anyone who could benefit from Blocksurvey, be sure to share this video with them. I'll see you in my next video. Be sure to subscribe. Bye bye.